Are we ready? That's more like it. One more time. Are we ready? Great. My name is Anthony Leung, and your MC for the event. I want to start off by saying that I am proud to be Asian. The theme today is United in Action with Asians. I'm proud to be standing here today united with all of you beautiful people. Please remember that this is a COVID-safe event. Please wear a mask and social distance at all times. Restrooms are also available around the corner in the parking lot in front of the library. On behalf of the organizers, I would like to welcome some of our sponsors, supporters, elected officials, community leaders, including our very own Anders Fung, our council member and leader of Millbrae, our supervisor, Board of Supervisors President David Canepa, our Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis. We have our entire Millbrae City Council, Mayor Schneider, Annie Oliva, Gina Pappin, Ruben Holliber. We also have Mayor Cunningham, Mayor Ann O'Brien, Ricardo Ortiz, Harbor Commissioner Virginia Curali. We also have Toy Town Association President Ma. We have the Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce Carl Chan, just to name a few. Oh my gosh. And Supervisor Pine, oh my gosh. And Sheriff Carlos Bolanos. I am adding more to the list. If I missed any of you, don't worry. We'll give you Anders will make sure to give you a proper introduction. We are first going to hear from our speakers. Then we are going to be marching from City Hall down Broadway, down to El Camino, and then back here to City Hall, where we will listen to what our leaders and community leaders have to say. At this time, I'd like to bring our invited guests on stage, which they are already here. Wow, look at that.
Senator Becker just joining us.
Oh, and Senator Becker, thank you for joining us. I'd like to introduce our community leader, our lead organizer, and your Millbrae City Council member, Anders Fung.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anders Fung, and I am an Asian American. Some of you in the audience might know me as a council member here in Millbrae. But today, I am not just speaking from the position of my office. I'm speaking as an Asian American immigrant with an Asian American family who is with me today. My wife, Margaret, my two children, Adrian and Anderson. I wanted to first recognize a few organizations here who are standing shoulder to shoulder with all of us here today. The East Bay Toy Town Association, thank you for joining us. The Peninsula Chinese Business Association, and I got Johnny DeRosa, president, right here. Thank you very much for joining us. We've got Millbrae Cultural Committee, and I think Nian Hua, president, is in here somewhere. Thank you. We also got Millbrae Anti-Racist Coalition help, advertising the events and bringing everybody together, joining all of us here. And the many people of Millbrae, all of you, our city, our county, and our state official, and all of our volunteers today standing together with the AAPI community to say no to violence. I want to thank all of you to come together to support all of us. This is a momentous day for the Asian American here in our town and across the entire Bay Area. And I want to let you know that your hard work is highly appreciated. The recent horror we've all seen and read about needs no introduction. We've all seen the videos, the statistics, and the police report. And for me, it only confirmed one thing, that my community, our community, is under attack, and we will not stand for it. With every new account of violence against Asian Americans, whether it's in New York, in Atlanta, or here at home, the situation grows sharper and our resolve grows stronger. Too often when we face these attacks, our reaction is to retreat to our own camps. However, the histories of this country have shown that the conditions of marginalized people rarely improve in isolation. Rather, in this nation's brightest moments, coalitions of communities such as this have worked towards the same ends of equal sexual orientation and political beliefs to work collaboratively together in common goals. So here, in 2021, I am hopeful that you will all join me in exercising our rights as citizens of democracy to pass crucial legislation that will protect Asian Americans from further discriminations and better secure the continued vitality of our community. There is no simple answer how to do this, and the fight to improve our lives and the community at large will be a tough one. But there are some common sense actions that we can all take right now. First, we must address the safety of our community. We need to see the full extent of these hate crime statistics. As we know, API populations tend to underreport crimes committed against them. It is crucial that we secure additional resources to reach out to our most vulnerable populations so that we can get a full understanding of what the crime situation actually looks like. We must take conscientious effort to reach out to Asian Americans, especially our seniors and our most vulnerable, who may not speak English as their first language, to ensure all these crimes are reported and investigated. Secondly, we must address the economic toll that discrimination has had on our community since the COVID-19 pandemic. We must invest and help lift our API small businesses, many of which have been unfairly affected by the xenophobia and the racism that has caused patrons to avoid their businesses. Recent data have shown that Asian Americans are mostly affected by economic recessions due to our prevalence in the industry such as food and services. And our current economic downturns will affect our economy even.
Thank you, Councilman Anders. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today to stand together, shoulder to shoulder, to stop Asian hate, to stop discrimination, to stop violence against our communities. Thank you. Councilman Anders Fung, you have done a very important thing in bringing us all together. And I also want to thank my friend, one of my lifelong best friends in the world, your Councilwoman, Gina Pappin, for also inviting me. Now, I know Milbrae because I know Gina. And over so many years, she brought me down here to walk with her, to walk in your neighborhoods, to knock on your doors, and to introduce her and to campaign for her when she ran to represent you. So first, I want to thank you for continuing to send her back to the City Council. But secondly, I want to tell you a little bit about our story as Greek Americans. Because when our parents and our grandparents came to the United States, it was not so hospitable for them. There were communities that said no Greeks can come here. There were jobs that said no Greeks can work here. Now, so many years later, that is beyond for our community, mostly because they stopped, Greeks didn't come as often to the United States. But when we look at the United States of America, our history of our country is this story of our community. And guess what? California is the state in the country where people are drawn. People want to come here because we have a culture that is enriched by immigration, and we have an economy that is built on the fact that the best and the brightest in the world want to come here. Now, there are a couple of very specific things that the state is doing elected, and we have a president in Joe Biden. We have a vice president, California's own daughter, the daughter of immigrants, herself an Asian Pacific Islander, Kamala Harris as our vice president, showing the world what diversity looks like in the United States of America. And in our state, and Senator Becker, are you speaking as well this morning? I think he's probably also going to talk a little bit about this. But up in Sacramento, we know that this is a challenge, and we are not going to stand for it. So our legislature in the state level is working every day to bring support, to bring help, and to bring the kinds of laws that will ensure that our communities, that your communities, that our communities in our beautiful state of California are safe and able to continue to pursue the California dream, shoulder to shoulder with this great, big, diverse, exceptional, extraordinary society that makes up California, the biggest state in the union and the 5th largest economy in the world. So, fear not. We will stand together, we will fight this, and we will continue to strive to make a better state and a better country for all of our families and all of our children. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis. Another round of applause, please. We're truly lucky to have such a strong leader in our state. We are truly blessed. Thank you so much again. Now I'd like to introduce our State Senator Josh Becker. Welcome, Senator, please. Thank you, Senator. Please feel free to take the mic.
Thank you all. First of all, what a treat and an honor to have our Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis. Thank you again. It's a great honor to have her at this event. Shows the importance. I want to thank the Council Member Fung. I want to thank Mayor Schneider, Vice Mayor Oliva, Council Members Papin and Holliber, and all the elected officials, our Board of Supervisors President David Canepa, I see David Pine, other elected officials here and honored from our region. So give them all a round of applause. I'm here to do 3 things. The first one is to say that hate has no place in our community. So since this is a rally and we have an amazing turnout today, I want to do a quick chant. So I want them to hear this all across the city, all the way up to San Francisco, all the way down the peninsula. We're going to say love over hate, okay? We're going to say it 4 times, love over hate. Everybody ready for this? Okay, ready. 1, 2, 3. Love over hate. Love over hate. Love over hate. Love over hate. Thank you. Hate has absolutely no place in our community. The second thing is we are stronger when we stand together. We are stronger when we stand together. And as a member of the Jewish community, and I appreciate the Lieutenant Governor talking about her family history, as a member of the Jewish community, I know what it's like to be part of a community that's been a victim of hate, a victim of violence, and people stood with us. Many of you stood with us. Many of these elected officials stood with us. And that showed me again, we are all stronger when we stand together. And that's why I'm here. That's why all our electeds are here. We're all stand together, their API community here today. We're stronger together. Thank you. The last thing is to echo something that Councilmember Fung said. Now is the time for action. These rallies are awesome. They're amazing. The solidarity is tremendous. I get energized. But now is the time for action. He talked about AB 28. That's one.
Senator Becker, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Love over hate. Love over hate. Love over hate. Love over hate. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have our very own San Mateo Board of Supervisors President David Canepa, my very good friend and your tireless leader looking to affect change in our community. Welcome.
Great. Thank you so much, Anthony. And first of all, let me say I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I want to thank Anders. I want to recognize my colleague, Dave Pine. Give him a round of applause for sponsoring legislation with us. And I want to recognize our sheriff, one of the best sheriffs in the state of California. Thank you, Sheriff Bolanos, the mayor, the council. Today is a day of celebration. When I say celebration, it's to celebrate our community coming together. And make no mistake about it, we're here today to make sure that when hate crime is committed in San Mateo County, that it will not be tolerated. And that is why Supervisor Pine and I authored legislation that made San Mateo County an anti-hate zone. So whether you're a Muslim, whether you're Jewish, whether you're Latino, whether you're black, in this community, through policy and legislation, whether you live in Daly City, whether you live in Menlo Park, North Fair Oaks, we will not tolerate and we will prosecute to the highest extent of the law. There is no reason that our elderly should be pushed behind or should be abused. That's not a value that we accept. That's a value we push against, and we make sure everyone understands that at that.
Our next speaker is someone that has been personally affected by the violence that we are all uniting against. Her name is Wendy, and she is here to share her story. Wendy, please join me on stage with translating Carl Chan.
各位好，我嚟到美國就住喺屋崙華埠。去年年尾，寧靜嘅生活被打破咗，連我自己都唔敢相信，我竟然喺1個月之內連續俾人打劫咗3次。唔單止自己身心受傷，我嘅遭遇仲連累咗我嘅家人朋友，令佢哋好擔心。而我自己呢，嚇到都唔敢出聲。出街呢，有人陪住我都係心慌慌嘅。今年年初喺華埠罪案發生嘅最高峰嘅時期，大家都唔敢出嚟，有人甚至叫華埠係鬼城。呢個時候，雖然商家同埋社區嘅人都好驚，但係為咗挽救呢個局面，佢哋依然好勇敢咁企出嚟。佢哋自己出錢，自發組織咗第一個嘅屋崙華埠義工巡邏隊。從今年2月開始巡邏，一直到現在。呢啲着住藍色背心嘅就係呢個巡邏隊嘅代表喺呢度。佢哋嘅團結，佢哋嘅勇敢嘅表現，令我產生咗好強烈嘅意識。我唔想再成為受害者，我要好似佢哋一樣做一個保護者。好多謝我哋嘅隊長鄺偉先生俾咗我加入呢個巡邏隊。藍背心隊仲同其他唔同嘅族裔一起合作，一起維護我哋嘅華埠治安。而家居民出嚟都感覺到輕鬆好多，其他市民亦都係紛紛返嚟辦事、消費、探親，涓涓細流匯江。
That was truly an incredible story. We will hear from our amazing speakers after the march, because now it is time for action. It is time. Today we have amazing student volunteers, activists, organizers, Anjali, Lillian, and Leanna from Mills High School. They're going to be helping us out, and they're going to be teaching us the chants that we will be using during the march.
All right, guys, we're going to be taking you through the main chant that we're doing today. Stop Asian hate.
Pam, are you going to be able to walk? Yeah, you can't walk.
So he is not afraid of anything. So I'm gonna let him say a few words, and I'm gonna translate for him.
各位官員，在場嘅女士們、先生們，大家中午。
Hi. He's like, how's everybody doing?
今日係團結社區制止歧視嘅集會遊行。
So today we had a peaceful rally where everybody from different communities in this district and across the bay came together.
整個周邊嘅城市歧視亞裔、仇視亞裔、暴力罪行頻頻出現。
But instead of getting respect in Alameda, in California, in our Chinatowns, in our Asian communities, we have been experiencing discrimination, racism, physical violence even.
我哋得唔到尊重，仲反而受歧視，我哋係絕對不能接受嘅。
We will not accept this discrimination. We will not accept this violence.
尊敬嘅女士們、先生們，我哋第
Give yourself a big hand. The march. The message is loud and clear. The march is to break down the barrier and making positive changes so that all of us, not only our seniors, so anyone have to register and we have to vote. So for this national rally, I want to make sure that you yourself and going home and tell everyone, making sure that you will register and vote because we are here to make those changes. So at the end, I want to say this. Nothing can divide us. We must unite because we are the United States of America.
Versus feared or hated, our children will inherit a broken humanity. Regardless of how difficult it is, regardless of how much red tape exists, a member of this beautiful community. And I'm proud to say that. It's great to see that there are so many different generations here today, as we are all here to fight and demand for a better future, a safer place for our elderly, equity in our workplaces, and school environments free of hate for our children. Like you all, I am frustrated, I am angered, and I am saddened by the recent hate crimes that have targeted the Asian community. This is why I'm here today and not settling for silence. Progress. We are not your model minority. We will be loud and clear. Stop Asian hate! Stop Asian hate! It was not a bad day. It was blatant racial targeting, and we will call it out. We need to dismantle an oppressive system, and it starts with the community coming together, supporting movements across racial groups, whether it be Black Lives Matter or Stop Asian Hate. We need to empathize with others over our shared struggles. Minorities should not be pitted against each other. Together we can combat oppressive narratives. Asians are not a virus. Latinx people are not illegal. Black people are not threats. Indigenous people are not savages. Hate is not and will never be an American value. We need to unite in action and stand in solidarity. I'm glad that we've discussed policies and immediate steps we can take here today. There needs to be reform in all sectors, from our history books to the justice system. I'm so grateful for this grassroots team in Millbrae, and especially the efforts of the Millbrae
I also like to thank Mayor Schneider, who's in the audience today. Thank you so very much for joining us and supporting us throughout. Also, our Port Commissioner, Ms. Virginia Corrali, thank you for joining us today. Standing unity with the AAPI communities, another AAPI leader, fine leaders for our county. So with that, I'd like to thank everybody, and I'd like to open up the mic for whoever want to come up and speak and give your perspective. So anyone who wants to speak, we've got another 10, 20 minutes right here. So if people can line up and get 30 seconds on the mic. I'd like to thank everyone for coming here today. Anyone want to speak? Just line right up. Okay, we got a hand right here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My name is Benny Lee. I'm a former council member from the city of San Leandro, and I work for the county of San Mateo. When you go to the downtown, you can see free public Wi-Fi, so enjoy that. And I want to tell you, right, in San Leandro, I live in Huron Bay. Why is that significant? Because last year, there was a...
Councilmember Anders Fung for putting this together. What he did mention was, look at how beautiful this is. We have intergenerational support with one another. We have the elders. We have the young people. Look how the very young people that are here standing up saying, you know what, this has to stop. And why we're here together, it's because it's for the future. We want to make sure that their children don't have to stand up and have to fight against xenophobia.
But to me that does not matter, because our concept for this protest is love over hate. Our concept for this rally is love over hate, and that we need to stand up and speak out no matter what race we are and no matter how old we are. And that everyone here knows that we are here because of what is happening recently. Of the thousands of cases of reported violence and racist slurs against the Asian American community. And that throughout history, we've seen all kinds of anti-racist acts. We've seen segregation, we've seen anti-Semitism, and we've seen the Chinese Exclusion Act. But that we cannot rewrite history, and yet we need to keep moving forward. And what I want to say today is that I hope that everyone here has the goal that we need to fight. We need to fight hate, we need to fight racism, we need to fight violence, and love over hate. Now we need to stand up and speak out.
The graining beauty of your accent. Report on the slurs you hear, the shoves they throw. Have those hard conversations. Call your senators to expand voter rights, demand easier registration, transparency in the actions of officials, more resources to our community. We as Asians are the fastest growing minority in the U.S. electorate, so let's give our vote to leaders who care. And don't let this momentum fizzle out, because we have just started. Thank you.